can't even do this, I cannot even do this. No, that's just...
Oh, wow. Also, we are finally back. We've been missing for a while, but I just want to say welcome everybody back to Between the Lens with Alby and Wrapz and our brother Arthur behind the camera. So, where have we been, brother?
Fair to say, you know, we've definitely had a break. Needed to focus on ourselves for a bit.
Yep.
These masks are kind of annoying, but it's a precaution, it's necessary. I think it's just, you know, necessary for the climate. It's kind of just tells us, it reminds us, you know, what kind of world we're living in right now.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. How long have we been away for? About 3 months, I think?
3 months.
5 months?
No, 3 to 4 months, or something like that.
Something like that. It's been crazy in those last months.
I mean, we haven't really recorded since before lockdown, really, because even the friendships episode we recorded in April.
Like a couple of weeks before that. But definitely those times, at a point we weren't even allowed to be within...
For sure.
A meter of each other.
I can't even do this, I cannot even do this. No, that's just, that's trash.
I can't even breathe with these things on, bro.
No. So yeah, like Wrapz said, welcome to Between the Lens with Alby and Wrapz. You know, Wrapz is always in front of the lens. I'm always somewhat behind it. Arthur's usually in the middle, so we decided to meet where Arthur is. As you can see, the layout's a bit different this time. We are in the heart of our college. Literal, manoa.
Literally, manoa.
It is, 1 a.m. on Sunday the 13th of September, and what a crazy last few months it's been for Dulce and I.
Oh, major. And everyone out there. It's been crazy for everyone, bro.
Yeah, 100%. So just obviously, if you're listening, we obviously value your continued support and what we're trying to do here. We just needed a bit of time to kind of figure out what we're doing with our lives, kind of focus on what we needed to focus on. I know, obviously, last time we were in touch with you guys, I was navigating my 4 papers, and safe to say I did it pretty well. I passed 4 papers first time. I know it's quite a small thing in retrospect, but obviously with the climate, I'm pretty proud of that. And how about you, Miles?
For me, I dropped out of science.
Okay.
Went to Bachelor of Arts, and doing something that I kind of want to do now instead of something that I didn't.
And that is so funny that you bring that up, because in the very first episode, what did we talk about? Lesson number 1, you learn more about yourself than you do about your degree. And when I asked you, what did you say? You wanted to do film, you wanted to do Bachelor of Arts, and now what? Obviously,
now I'm here.
Obviously, you put the work in. Sometimes it doesn't go your way, but look at you now. You're safe to say it's nice to see a smile on Miles' face.
Every time I'm studying now, not just some.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously with the climate, it's now coming towards October. Do you know what time that is? That's study time. And that's very different for the both of us, isn't it? What does study and October look like to you, my friend?
October looks like my 21st right now, Oos.
How are you feeling? Are you excited?
No, it's just another day, sorry. But, yep, study time. That's why I'm not going home. And I think October, around my birthday, is just a time where everyone starts to knuckle down. It's about a week and a half before exams. So I think now it's time to go into 8 to 8, 24-hour model. To have 8 hours sleep.
100%. 8 hours sleep. Oh, frick.
Definitely.
8 hours sleep.
But if you stay consistent, man.
I don't know if I'm getting 8 hours of sleep a week. Are you serious?
I mean, we're up late right now, but but like 8 hours sleep, then we get 8 hours to do things, and then 8 hours to do whatever we want. You know what I mean?
Geez, my one's more like 3 hours sleep, 15 hours study, and then 8 hours, so 3 hours, 15, 18, and 6 hours of doing what I want, you know. But
so if I do that every day, 8, 16...
Every day, hopefully you'll pass Bachelor of Arts.
It's something like 32 hours, 40-something hours a week on study.
That's good, you know.
So if you keep it consistent, I guess that will be... Sorry, that's why I'm in arts now, not science or maths.
But that's what it is. I guess for me, my next month is looking very, very different to Wrapz's.
Okay. Wait, but why is your month very different to mine? Because you don't have exams, or?
One, I don't have exams, so obviously for me, that's added pressure on trying to get everything done by the end of lectures, so obviously everything's internally assessed. But more along the lines of, it's my last month in Dunedin, and like I said in the earlier episodes, my friend, I am so freaking scared of what life has to offer for me. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that I now don't have to use the excuse when I go back home during the summer, the classic January line of, you're kind of hanging out with your friends too much and they're kind of, the same old, and you're like, oh, it's all right, I go back to Dunedin in February. I've used that excuse for 3 years, and this summer it's going to be a bit different. While going back to Wellington, hopefully get a job, provide for mum, and I don't get to use the stability that Dunedin's given me for 4 years, and that's okay, but in retrospect it's also very, very scary. And I don't know, maybe it's the fact that I've gone through now 17, 18 years of formal education, going from obviously kindergarten through to the end of uni, and I'm not ready to be an adult. 22 years old, obviously my birthday's hit since, and when I graduate, time to go into the big wide world. And for me, I don't know, maybe I'm just still wanting to hold true to whatever I have left of being an adolescent.
But, everything's like that if you think about it. When you first go to college, you're scared. First go to uni, you're scared.
Yeah.
First go to life, you get scared. But it will come around, you know what I mean? You'll get used to it.
100%, but I think the reason why this one's going to be even harder to leave than high school is because this one was for me. This one wasn't for my family, so obviously through high school, that's an easy one because you're still only, 5-minute bus ride in from your house. But for me, I didn't get to just do uni and study in the same city I lived in. I had to leave, I had to leave the nest in order to understand what life really meant for me as an individual. And safe to say, I think it really matured and maybe gave me an insight as to how other people live and how other people act, and how sometimes, the way they act and the way that you interact with other people isn't the way you would in Wellington. But I don't know, maybe I've just kind of had to realise that I liked Dunedin for what it was. And I'm saying what it was like I haven't left it, but for what it is. So this next month is trying to finish study while navigating, trying to enjoy this part of my life.
Well, these guys,
his 21st is going to be a very, very loose night. So
yes. Well, this guy and Arthur are very focused on graduating. I'm still focusing on passing.
But hey, like I said, Miles, we're university. We're on the same path. I'm just at the final hurdle. You're just going through the first.
I'm just going through the first things, and I have to carry on their legacy as well.
Yeah. So, what else has been going on in your life since June, my friend?
Well, I kind of dropped off a lot of things and focused on what I needed to get done for school, because changing wasn't very easy for me.
What did that mean, sacrificing?
It wasn't really a sacrifice. It was more like just telling my parents that I didn't want to do science anymore.
And obviously, if you've listened to Wrapz explain the dynamic of his family, you know how hard that would have been for him.
So that was
how hard was it?
It was very hard. When I told my dad, he wasn't very happy, but he's come around. My mum doesn't really mind what I do unless I get to the final step. And then there was talks about me coming back to Wellington as well, so that was pretty hard. My usos are going back to Wellington to live, so it was very tempting to go back and study in Wellington, but I decided...
not like Wrapz to not finish something he started.
Yes, I decided to stick it out here, and hopefully when I'm 23 and these guys are a bit older, I can come back and we can all start something, maybe live in the same mansion or something like that.
In the same mansion. But like I say, if you have a goal and you have a mindset that you're going to achieve that goal and nothing's ever going to change your mind like the way that this also thinks.
Yeah, so
I'm not worried at all, so.
I'm stuck on it. So that was probably one of the hardest things that happened.
Yeah.
Since then, what else have I done? I've continued my vlogs. I was very inconsistent, but now I'm back on the...
What made you inconsistent? Was it just... did you lose motivation? Let's be honest.
Yes, I lost motivation, like I said. Even like us three felt distant in a bit because we weren't allowed to see each other. Like when I was here at work and stuff, I was only allowed 2 meters within this fella, or couldn't even handshake. And so that kind of like distanced us for a bit.
Yeah.
And like when I'm with these fellas, man, I'm at my creative. I'm at my most creative. Oh, I can hear people. Anyways, I'm at my most creative when I'm with these fellas, and when you don't have that all the time, you know, you kind of just drop off a bit and become complacent with what I was making, and like all my vlogs were just staying the same, and it got boring, and I didn't want to do it. But like now, coming out of, oh, it's not even coming out of, we're still in level 2. It's like, it's there again.
But it's somewhat normal.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of realising, I think at this stage we're kind of used to just loving our friends and loving our family from distance right now.
Yeah.
So it's not anything out of the ordinary that we haven't experienced. I'm just thankful. Do you know what I'm really thankful for?
Oh.
And this might be just a bit of a deep turn, but I think for me, I was dreading waiting for those suicide statistics, because I was just so scared that obviously we had 685 in the last year, but somehow it went down to about 651, something like that. But still 651 too many, so just a little point out there. It's Suicide Prevention Week. Just continue to check in with your mates. You know how it is. Recognise where they're feeling a bit off and just pick up their phone so you don't have to lower their coffin, my friends,
Yep. Like, even your strongest friends, because I'm one of those people, I'll say nothing's wrong, but there's something wrong. Just reach out to them and tell them you love them.
100%.
Tell them you love them, I reckon.
Yeah. So, okay, what else has happened in my life? Or should I go on to that one? Yeah. Oh. Well,
wait. What's something exciting? Like, what's something that made you become uplifted during COVID or something like that? Or was there anything that?
We won 48-hour film for the first time in 4 years. Thanks, Os. And yeah, oh my God, Os, like, frick, he had to just ruin that one day.
We'll get into it.
Yeah, so we won 48-hour film for the first time in 4 years. Like, this is my fourth one doing it. This is the fourth time I'm doing it with Arthur, and this is Wrapz' second. And this year felt a bit different. I was just so happy to be in the midst of just very, very passionate and just enthusiastic young people. And if anything, it just is just a nod to just how talented people are around us.
But you gotta admit, like, you and Arthur, you still took them on your shoulders.
Yeah, no.
But you had to show them, you know what I mean?
No, but like effective leadership also is not, just like bossing them around and telling them this and that. It's
exactly.
It's like, Arthur, for instance. And my friends, if you follow his Instagram or just know him in life, you will just know how special this person is to the both of us, and especially to me, because I've seen him develop so much in 4 years. But this guy, like, he just has the power to just evoke so much emotion through a camera lens. And the guy didn't even film it this year. Do you know what he did? He actually taught 2 of our young bright stars to film the film for us, and it was the best film I've been a part of in 4 years. So.
And then he was teaching me how to edit at the same time.
So, I guess it's, for me, it was just nice to just, I had the utmost confidence that we were going to win the whole time, so I just told them to just enjoy the ride, and
he said the same thing to me last year.
Enjoy the ride we did, so that was good. Also, Arthur, he got engaged. He finally proposed to our sister Amal. It was really wholesome, and the Silverline team just They just melted. And I don't know, I might watch this later, but I think that's just a nod to the special characters that they are. I think, Dunedin's such a city where you've learnt to settle for the temporary. So, it's very much a city of swipe right, left, right, good night, the gap in the morning, 6 a.m. But this one's a love story, so for Arthur and Amal, to then move on to Wellington, coming with me, I'm coming with them next year.
Coming to where we're from.
It's the next step, so it's always a nice little happily ever after next step for our friend over here. So what else have we gone through since? You've gone through some heartache. I lost my papa at the start of semester 2, and if you've watched our earlier podcasts, the one thing I was scared, and if you know me on a personal level, the one thing that I'm terrified of is losing family or losing people close to me. And right now my papa would have been top 2 definitely, and that one hasn't even hit yet. So I'm continuing to live my life right now, not even kind of feeling that that's kind of happened. So I'm just waiting until when I return back to Wellington full time, and it's gonna hit me. But I'm thankful for good friends and good family. But I've spent my whole life just in awe of the guy, and I don't know. The one thing I wanted to do was show him the degree. Yeah, that's how life goes. I didn't get to do it, but I don't know. It was a good run, and knowing that I was in his prayers every night just motivated me to kind of reach for that final step.
I think you are doing them just proud also.
Thank you.
Out.
Yeah.
And you're going to take the certificate with you and take it to see your mate.
You're going to make me blush.
Yes,
Stop.
you are. Well, then, what was probably your biggest struggle with lockdown?
My biggest struggle with lockdown. This one, man. For me, I just couldn't handle online. For me, honestly, I don't know what it was, but for my eyes, if I stared at a laptop or just any screen for longer than 8 hours a day, my eyes would feel like they're stinging. Actually, it just it hurt to open my eyes at some stages.
It's probably almost like opening your eyes underneath a chlorine pool.
100%, yeah, 100%.
Chlorine pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it felt like, eh?
Yeah, and I think I remember I was on the student panel talking to staff at the start of the semester, and I was honest, and I was like, I haven't been in a lecture that has been online since March 27th, and they were shocked, but I was honest because I was like, I just can't even do this, for me, I would just do the readings and just get all my sources off online, but I just can't do passive learning like that,
Yeah.
For me, it's face-to-face, the human connection,
It's a different type of learning because, if you think about it, doing it online, you're also at home.
Yeah.
For me, being at home was a chill-out place.
Yeah.
And, we weren't allowed to go to the library sometimes. And it's just a different type of learning there. Home is chill out, school is do your work, and going anywhere else is free. You know what I mean?
I think for me, and just anyone in general, really, just having to to abide to something, to obviously when we're freedom and free will and all that, Dunedin is the city where you can actually do that very easily, but to just feel like you're away from home in a city like this and still have to feel like you're just strictly on rules, it just hit very differently. And morale was down in a lot of places, and I myself just kept questioning myself every day. It would be a whole cycle of wake up, procrastinate, take a notice, eat lunch, procrastinate, and then somehow study between like 8 and 12, and then just feel super tired because I procrastinated and done a minimal study.
Yep. Yep. And then I think the bad one for me, was like sleeping till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
Like for I'd say a couple of weeks, I was waking up 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, unless I had work or something like that. And I would wake up, then I wouldn't be doing things until like 7 o'clock.
100%.
And that was bad, eh?
Honestly,
that was really bad.
the mental health was pretty down.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the one word I would describe lockdown is perspective. So I'm thinking, I've got this is going on in my life right now, but to put it in perspective, what is someone else going through?
Yeah.
How can I empathize with someone's situation? Obviously, as students, it's easy to do that in our community. But then I'm thinking for myself, my mind was in Dunedin with me studying, but my heart was in Wellington with my mum. She was an essential worker, and I was shit scared every single day her going to work. So perspective, like here's me struggling with my study, but here's me struggling with life.
Yep.
And who am I to complain, you know? So that was me.
Yeah. I guess, like, going off perspective, like, even though it was hard, it had to be done. Like, if lockdown or lockdown didn't happen, I guess New Zealand would be in a different place right now.
Yeah.
We would still be in lockdown, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
We are in lockdown, but like lockdown level 4, I mean.
Yeah.
Like, so those, I guess that's a sacrifice as well. We had to sacrifice how the whole, or Jacinda decided, like, we all had to go on lockdown for us to be able to be safe in the future.
It's like these precautions to preempt what could have been a worst case scenario.
Yeah. So I guess that's another thing of perspective for me,
Yeah, 100%. So looking back at COVID, who knows, we're still looking forward. Well, I'm not looking forward to anything. But looking towards a future with COVID cancelling a lot of plans, I'm not even, to be honest, I'm just imagining the fact that, imagine going through 4 years of just complete struggle trying to get this piece of paper and I get sent it in the mail.
Yeah.
I'd probably defer till next year. Arthur, what are you going to do?
Hey?
Are you going to defer?
Defer?
Your graduation?
Me? Yeah. Well, my mom's coming down next year.
Yes. So those and I, fingers crossed, will defer if...
And then they can come back and see me.
Exactly. Goals.
That's really not going to be hectic. Like, everyone's trying to graduate this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, just going through all that just to get a sent in the mail, no. I think not. So,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. So for me, my motivations right now is the fact that I have a month to leave a legacy, and I have a month to spend with my Silverline family and my Toroa family and my just my Dunedin community. And I don't know, I'm in a real reflective state where I'm just kind of thinking. And if you watch our short film, which is on Wrapz, is it? YouTube, you'll understand the plot line is just similar to like what Arthur and I are going through. It's just kind of watching a whole university journey flash before our eyes. And for me, if you see me around campus, just ask me, am I ready to let go? And I'll give you my honest answer.
Are you ready to let go?
Nah, but it is what it is, you know.
It is what it is. Well, where can we go from there?
What are your plans for 2021?
My plans for well, these guys already know that. For me, I think I'm going to be taking a heavy load on what these two have left behind. Not left behind, but left for me to pick up and do better, because these guys are pretty good at what they do. Well, I'm coming back here to study the rest of my degree. I'm coming back to the college to work as well. Yes, I am.
Exclusive.
And also, I'm going to be continuing vlogging, of course, but also just trying
But
to
we
find
don't
ways.
care about that, my friend. What are you going to do to impact your life, and what are you going to do to change someone else's?
Oh, wow. I think I do that through videos, at the moment. Like,
Yeah.
for now, and my planning for the future of it, it's more like trying to help people who want to come to Otago, people who are at Otago, or people who are just going to uni in general, try to help them see what college life is, like in a hall, and then try also help them see if it's actually worth them doing science in the first place, if they want to do arts instead. Or people who want to come to Otago just for the culture, but might not understand the culture until they come.
So then, going off what you're saying, Dills, what would be one thing you wish you could tell semester 1 Wrapz
This year or last year?
this year?
If I could tell semester 1 Wrapz something, it would probably be just like do what makes you happy, and worry about the consequence later, or worry about what other people think later. Because if you worry about what people think and what even my family was going to think, you're probably wrong, because they're probably going to support you no matter what you do.
And seeing that, even though you failed, have you realised that you're much more than just your results?
Definitely. Well, I've always said this, but like, life experience is different to education experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Street smarts and book smarts.
Yeah. Two different things.
Yeah. So, in hindsight, do you regret failing? Or are you happy you failed, so then it showed you that you could actually transition to something you wanted to do?
I'm not happy that I failed, because in my head I could have done it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But I kind of didn't want to, which changed my mindset.
Yep.
So it was a kind of a blessing in disguise, but also it wasn't, because I know I could have done it.
100%.
So,
100%. Yeah. So for us, we just wanted to have a quick yarn. This is our first episode back in quite a while. I think that's kind of just wrapped us up just for the first episode. Just, again, thank you. If you're listening to this and you're studying right now, if you're listening to this and you're just chilling out, you're more than just your results. You're more than just your everyday life. You're an extension of your values and your characteristics. So just continue to be a good person, and life will sort itself out. Like always, I've been Alby, and this has been Wrapz, and you've been Between the Lands. Good night.
Good night, everyone.